It was the father of modern Western philosophy, Rene Descartes, who coined the most overquoted saying in philosophy, cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. No, the underlying concept of this phrase is that the proof that humans exist lies on our very consciousness. To oversimplify, if we are thinking, we must exist. And if we exist, we must be thinking. Now you might say that is absurd. I'm not always thinking, and does that mean I don't exist sometimes? Well, it might not be as absurd of a concept as you think it is. And the fact that you thought about how absurd it is meant you were involuntarily thinking, which goes to prove my point. But you wake up in the morning and immediately your brain goes, what's for breakfast? Or how often do you find yourself unable to fall asleep at night because your brain cannot stop processing all these thoughts? Hence the term overthinking came to exist. Thinking is like breathing to us. It comes naturally, automatically. So that's why, as Rene Descartes put it, to think is to exist. Now the more important question lies on the substance of those thoughts. What are we thinking about? Or rather, what should we be thinking about? And that is where curiosity comes into the picture. If you look at children, they seem to build their entire communication skills based on only one word, and that is why. They're always asking their parents, their teachers, questions about why is the sky blue? Why does the dog have 4 legs? Why can't I eat ice cream before I go to bed? They question the things that we adults accept as status quo. From the most absurd to the most profoundly philosophical questions, such as, Mommy, what is life? But this shows that children are naturally curious. And since we are all at some point in our lives a child, we also possess that natural talent of curiosity. We do not need to strain to think because our inherent curiosity will lead us to the thoughts that we need to be thinking about. And it is not just any talent. It is a survival skill. Curiosity has been the driving force for humankind to move forward, develop, innovate, to adapt, and ultimately to survive. Curiosity about the apple that fell from the tree made Newton discover the rule of gravity, which is now heavily applied on many of the technologies we use every day. Curiosity about the limited capacity of gasoline made Elon Musk create the electric car Tesla. Now imagine if those scientists and inventors never got curious to find the solution to the problems they found. We might not have vaccines for fatal diseases or laws against racial and gender discrimination. We will reach stagnation, never to change, never to progress. It is all thanks to curiosity. And yet the curious thing is, despite it being human nature for all of us, curiosity is decreasing in the younger generation of today. This is evident in the lack of creativity, of discoveries, of innovation that the youth contributes to the society of today. And I think a strong factor that caused that is the development of technology that renders it unnecessary for them to be curious. So instead of actually experimenting under the sun with a magnifying glass and a piece of paper to see if it really burned, the youths of today need only type their question into YouTube and see it happen in real time. And that is the challenge of today's society. The challenge is to cultivate the true form of curiosity that is needed for the global advancement of our society in youths. And this is difficult because true curiosity is not simply the ability to ask questions, it's the ability to ask the right questions, the important and critical questions whose answers will lead to a new discovery, new idea, and not what already is. And it's hard because to be able to ask the right questions, you need to have some kind of knowledge first. But to gain knowledge, you have to ask questions, to be curious. So it's like an endless paradox, seemingly. But it's actually not that complicated. It simply means that to ask the right questions, we need to base it off an observation that we acquire. The first step to global advancement is curiosity, indeed. But the first step to curiosity is learning. And adapting this framework and understanding that we need to be knowing enough first to know what we do not know yet is the key to finding room for improvements in our society and creating the creative yet concrete ways to achieve our goals. Thank you.